Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Amy's live stream weekly on Friday, starting at 8 p.m. Pacific time for 1 hour. Yes, we're going to try to stick to 1 hour. I know we keep saying that, but we're really going to try this time. So welcome. If you're here, say hello. Let me know that you're here, where you're watching from. And while you guys join, I'm going to pop you up to the side for me so that I can see your chats. And I'm going to move that window. Hi, Clara. Hi, Deborah, Katie, Vivian, Rona. Welcome, welcome, guys. Hi, Erica. By the way, who's been shopping during this lockdown or reopening, I guess, of businesses? Because I haven't gone out at all. But hello, Estella, Millicent. Hi, Rona. Hi, Katie. Hi, Tracy. Tracy, yeah, I shopped online too. I wonder if you guys, but it's only something small anyway. What I shopped. Yes, so many good sales, and I already did like a whole round. I already showed you guys what I got. You know, a lot of acne stuff, some Balmain. Hi, Krista. Hi, Rona. Okay, so while you guys are joining, I wanted to like, I guess I want to start off every live stream, especially during the beginning when people are just, you know, either a few minutes late or just joining in. I always want to take the beginning of my live stream to like, I don't know, just talk about what's current, basically. So I named this live stream, or I guess the topic on this live stream is 2020. Do we actually need any more negativity? And the reason why I said that, I guess it's kind of like a shocking title just to like make people watch, but it's also because I really mean it. I just feel like, and I think we all feel that this year has been really heavy. We started off with, I mean, there's a bunch of things going around in the world, right? But personally speaking, I was affected by all the protests and the violence in Hong Kong because my family lives there, and my mom was there in December. I was worried about her, and then of course there was the whole bushfire thing in Australia, and I think that was last year, right? It started last year, and then of course the pandemic. And then all the other things that kind of trickled in from that, all the racism. I mean, there's Asian racism, there's the Black Lives Matter. I mean, I don't want to get into the stuff, but I just feel like this year has been so heavy. I think we all feel it. But more so because of last week's live stream on Kat's live stream, I literally did not expect, I mean, I love the topics that she always comes up with and that you guys always end up talking about. I guess my live stream's a little bit more lame. I just answer questions. We're all about the lighthearted stuff, but I saw quite a few things on her live stream, discussions between people. It was very respectful, but just a lot of things made me uncomfortable. And I know there's been some drama going on the Lux community. I honestly did not know, or I still don't really know what exactly is going on because I'm not a very gossipy person. I don't really care to watch gossip. I never watch Entertainment Tonight, those things. Like, I don't really care about those things because I don't know. I don't know about you. I'm busy enough as it is with personal projects, work, chores, responsibilities, and then just wanting to relax, right? So I really don't care about those things very much. But then I saw some of it being talked about on the live stream. So I almost felt like I wonder if people like I seriously don't know how to approach it, but I just wonder, do we actually really need more negativity this year? Because it's already, there's a lot of things going on. Can we all not be more tolerant this year? And I speak that from like really from the heart. And also, if you guys don't know, I'm sure you know, but Kat's hosting a whole kindness campaign giveaway. Super great idea, Clara's idea. I mean, it's just great initiative, and also I I loved it. But I feel like she was saying, like she's doing this, but she's also giving people an incentive to just do it. But we should not have to need incentives to be tolerant and to be just kind towards each other. And so this whole like even this luxury community is over thing drama, like I said, I still don't really know what happened, but like I just don't know if is it necessary, right? Is it really necessary? Because this year a lot of stuff happened. Oh, hi Marie. Oh, thank you, Maria. So kind of you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat. But yeah, like so much stuff going on. It even makes me uncomfortable talking about it right now, because on this channel, by the way, I don't know if you guys know, but on this channel, we do not tolerate intolerance. We just don't. We can discuss, we can have peaceful arguments, we can agree to disagree, we can have our own opinions, but in a respectful way, and constructive feedback, all that okay, but none of that like, I mean, I don't know. And I want to like sort of raise some sort of awareness, I suppose. If you think about, if you can self-reflect a little bit, are you like truly like rate yourself from 0 to 10, basically. Have you been spreading positivity and kindness around you? Or are you doing the opposite? Or are you doing the opposite without knowing? Because a lot of people don't know that, they're complaining and they're blaming, and they're things like that they do on the daily, even if it's very unsubconsciously, it really affects people around you, right? It even affects yourself. And I really urge you guys to think about it sometimes. I feel like, it's so easy. Is it more like, I wonder, is it more easy to hate, to blame, and to complain rather than being open and compassionate and understanding? Like, I guess it is, because it's so much easier to like blame someone else for what's happening, and also blame someone else for what you don't like about. And like, I know I'm speaking for like everything in 2020, but I'm also kind of addressing the whole drama right now that is happening, which I still don't know what's happening, but I just wonder, do we really have to go there? Like, do we really like, because I was looking at those comments, it made me very uncomfortable. It really did. And do we always have, like, I don't know if I can just bring up this example, it's an analogy. Like, for example, if you have your own child or your own nephews and nieces, if you don't have children, you love them unconditionally, right? And even if they grow and they change directions and they have their own opinions when they grow up, you'll still accept them the way that they are, right? So why are we such hypocrites, and we can treat those people like our child, our babies, in such an unconditional, loving way, such a tolerant way, even though they may not do stuff that we like, or they may not grow up to be the person that we expected them to, or that we thought that they would, but we still accept them no matter what. Then why are we so intolerant towards, and I say we because I want to be inclusive, and I don't want to like pin people. Like I seriously don't remember names, but I just was reading the comments and I was just feeling very uncomfortable. Like, why are we so hypocrite? Why do we treat others a different way? Why do we have different expectations for them? And then I know that the whole, like, if I have to like go into it in more detail, like some of the stuff that I read, I guess I kind of have my own opinion, but I'll share it if you guys don't mind. But anyway, like because you guys know also, or I told you guys also that I studied, I actually took the management leadership graduate diploma a few years ago, and I did 1 year, and then I became sick, so I had to stop in between. But I took quite a few courses, and it was very eye-opening because, like, when you really analyze leadership, because everyone is in a leadership follower position. Everyone is a leader at one point and a follower at one point. But let's just talk about leadership in general. You are a leader in your own environment. Your relationship between you and your kids, or teacher and student, or just if you're an influencer of some sort, you're kind of a leader. Just as long as you have influence over someone, then you're a leader. But even leaders, you have effective leaders and you have the opposite, I guess. I don't know what you would call them. Effective leaders will lead by example. They listen. They always try to be helpful. They provide value. They are always improving, and they never stop learning. They're open to change. They're usually humble, very humble people, because they always feel like they can never learn it all, right? So they're always humble. They're always learning. They're aware that change is sometimes necessary, but they embrace it. Doesn't mean that it's going to be easy, but they do it anyway. And they also understand that making mistakes is okay. And that as long as you learn from it, then that's what's important. And they also understand that there is enough good to go around. Like, that's why effective leaders are opportunists. They take opportunity. They understand that, when an opportunity presents to them, it doesn't mean that like they have to, like, they can be competitive with themselves, but like they also understand that there's enough good to go around. The laws of abundance. Whereas when you're the opposite, you're always a skeptic, you're very aggressive, you compare all the time, you blame someone else when you make a mistake, like, even if it's not necessarily their fault, but like you just you're in your mind, you're like, oh, it's that person's fault. You always get offended very easily. You're usually a know-it-all, like you never have to like learn any, like, if someone else is right, then you get offended. I don't know. You usually resist change, and you have hunger for power. Your ego takes over you. So I want to ask you, which type of person are you? Because I know we can be a bit of both in depending on the situation. Like I was reading those comments, and I felt like very, very uncomfortable because, like, like there was a comment about how YouTube is saturated. It's like people are like really angry at YouTube now, and I'm like thinking, YouTube is saturated, yes, because you know why? Out of the entire globe, the entire Earth of 8 billion people, 25% of those are consuming YouTube content. So yeah, it's saturated, but it's also a great place for people to be creative, to share, and there's more room still because it's only 25% of the entire world's people who's on YouTube. Like consuming content, not making content. And then I was reading someone who, like, some people were complaining about too many ads. I get it. It sucks, I guess, because you have to wait. But at the same time, how appreciative of you are you really of the fact that all this is free, though? And I'm not trying to defend myself or any other YouTube people who make content out there. But seriously, this whole platform is free to you. It's also free to the person making the content, but it's not really free. Someone always has to improve it at the company level, I guess Google, because Google owns YouTube, by the way. So therefore, they put ads in people's videos. And I was reading also some people were saying how like there's too many ads. Like they accept it if it's like one in the beginning, one at the end or something like that, or one in the middle maybe. But you guys have to understand that a lot of this is automatic and done by Google by themselves. Because Google and YouTube is the same basically, because Google owns YouTube. So YouTube is so smart now that if you go to your analytics, if you own a channel, you'll know what I mean. If you go to your analytics, it will actually track where your like retention rate is at the highest. It goes up and down. So Google knows to put ads when the retention is high. That's the whole point. They want to make the money too, because they actually get a big chunk of that advertisement money. The content creator gets only like a portion of it. I don't know how much, but like, you see where I'm going? I feel like a lot of blame has been shifted to like creators, when we should also put ourselves in the shoes of others. Do you know what I mean? Like, I try to put myself in the shoes of viewers too, but like, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say, because when I read those comments, I was feeling very uncomfortable. And like I said, I don't know who they were directed to. I don't really know what the whole drama is. I still don't really know. Do I really want to know? Not really. But I got a sort of like I was asking Kat, because I texted her afterwards. I'm like, so what's this all about? So she kind of filled me in a little bit, but I still don't really understand. Like, I really don't understand what the whole big deal is, right? So there's my spiel, because I'm just saying it's not just about this whole drama. It's also about, in general, this year and also going forward, can we not be more tolerant? Come on, we're already in the second decade of the 21st century. When are we going to stop being intolerant about racism, about different races, diversity, about other people's culture, about body image, about differences of opinion, but still be respectful? Like, when are we going to be able to change for the better? Because even if you feel like you're good enough, I feel like it only starts small, and then that's where all the like, and I'm not comparing like, you know, a racism to like this drama thing, but in a way, it stems from the same. It stems from negativity. It stems from not being tolerant enough. Why are we so intolerant? This is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, this is a lot. I think I'm gonna just end here. Yeah, let me see what you guys are talking about. And then we shall do some Q&A, because it's already 20 minutes in. So I definitely want to be able to answer some questions before you guys are bored of this whole spiel. Oh, Deborah says, my boyfriend got all excited and wanted to know if you could say hi to my... Hi, Phil. Sorry for the delayed hello. Hi. Of course. Happy to... Oh, wow. Gemma Bader is from Mexico. You're Wait, I'm a transplant here, though. What does it mean? Hi, Amy. Watching from Mexico. I'm a transplant here? Were you talking about the show Transplant? Because I love the show Transplant, the Canadian show, which just got bought by NBC. Maria just scored on Fashion File, Chanel and Hermès. Congrats, girl. That is amazing. What did you buy? Crawford private sale. We don't have that here, Clara. By the way, if you guys have questions, make sure to put like 4 or 5 question marks at the beginning so that I see that it's a question for me, because I know my name is hard to type. Katie says, I'm heading to the store after this to check out stuff for homeware. That is awesome. Deborah, exactly. Like 2020 has been so heavy. And the thing is, like, I think I almost feel like the universe is angry at us, because it all affects us, right? So like, it affects some people more than the other, but like, I just feel like if we can all be, just let go. Like, I mean, just seriously, just be more tolerant around people around you, people that you don't know, strangers, people that you watch online, but you don't really know, like, you don't really know them, right? I feel like a lot of these assumptions are made because you have a preconception of the person, you have an image of that person, but do you really know these people? You don't really know them, right? So, I mean, I guess you could be right, but you could be wrong too, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. And at the end of the day, I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt because, come on, it really doesn't really that matter that much. It's their life. It doesn't really affect me in a way, and I can still make my own choices. And that's the thing, like, as a viewer, you make your own choices. You know, you make your own choice about watching that person or not. You make your own choice about uh, purchasing something that they're promoting or not. You make the choice of being offended by what their direction is or not. Like, you seriously have control of all these things. You don't have to be mad at any of those things. It's easier on you and it's easier on everybody. Trust me. I really do think so. Because I don't know. I feel like I went through a lot in life already, like with sickness and all that stuff. And I'm not trying to compare to anybody, but like, I just feel like if I wasn't more optimistic myself, I wouldn't be here already. Like, and everyone goes through hardship. You have to do, yeah, you just have to let go, and you have to think about whether you're sometimes even subconsciously being negative and being criticizing, being blameful, being someone who blames a lot and stuff like that. You see what I mean? JJ says, good morning. Oh, she's just saying good morning to all of us. Good morning, JJ. Claire says, oh, she's talking to Katie. Maria says, we can't control negative people, we rise above. I agree, but I just wanted to like sort of bring it up anyway, because I feel like a lot of times, like even when I was negative myself, like I mean, I have my negative moments too, like I do. Trust me, we have some drama at home. Me and my brother, one of my brother, we still are working things out, but it's not just like, I don't want to like talk too much about it, but like he distanced himself, him and his family, and it started a few years ago, and like it's very difficult, and we're trying to mend things, I guess. I'm hoping to mend things. I don't know how they feel about it really, but I feel like they are also trying to make improvements, but they're going at their own rate, which is very slow. But you see what I mean? It's like you take a step, they take a step, or you take a step back and they take a step back. And sometimes you just need a reminder, really. Like when someone says something that clicks in your head because it really like makes you realize something, it can really change lives. So that's why I'm mentioning it. I hope you don't mind, because I just really felt so uncomfortable about this whole situation, how people are like talking, like I did not know that there were so many of these drama like videos out there, you know what I mean? Deborah says, I don't know what's going on either. Maybe it's good that I don't. Exactly. Sometimes I don't really care because I almost feel like, okay, another, like, do I really need to like know that? Like, but at the same time, I almost feel like it affects us all because it does. It's about the luxury community. It's not over. Why is it over? I don't understand. You know what I mean? Oh, Teresa says, I love your profile picture. I have 2 Sheppies. Oh, thank you. Hi, Kat. I just saw your comment come in. KT says, what this is about, it's a luxury war. But why? You see what I mean? It's almost pointless. Like, it's, why? Like, it's, if, like, see, like, I had, like, just using my own example with my family, we don't have to declare it to the entire world. We work it out. You work it out. You work it with, if you have an issue with someone or with, I don't know, like whatever, you work it out. Sometimes you work it out internally by yourself, because what if you're the problem? You're the problem. Like, what if you caused the problem? So you work it out with yourself, you self-reflect. And if you actually have a problem with someone, like it's a thing that's between two people or more, then you work out with those people. Like, why does it have to be this whole thing? Like, it doesn't have to blow up. And I feel like a lot of times, like even with like racism, like, or with, sometimes it doesn't have to blow out like this. And I'm not, okay, again, I don't want to go there, but I'm just saying, like, it doesn't have to. There's a saying in Chinese is 大事化小，小事化無. It's like, if it's like a big issue, make it smaller. If it's a small issue, like, then make it even smaller into like a feather. Like, I don't know how to explain it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Deborah says, Teresa Marie, my G is bright spot. What does that mean? Is that what you bought? GSD is a bright spot of 2020. Or are you talking to someone else? Tracy, Amy, where were the comments? Okay. It's in the live chat, in the cat's live chat. It's not in my live chat, but like, and you don't have to go back. Like, just don't, like, I'm just saying, like, because I was there at the live chat. It's just a lot of discussion towards the end of the discussion. Like, there was a lot of like pretty, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like a lot of negativity. I don't know how to say it. It just feels very negative to me, and I almost didn't know how to react. It just made me very uncomfortable. Teresa says, I always watch the ads in support of the content creator. You're very, very kind. Thank you. KT says, my favorite quote, you can't talk butterfly language with caterpillar people. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Krista says, transplant is someone who moved to a new area. Ah, okay. Now I get it. It must be a slang that I don't know, because native English is only my third language. Okay, Teresa says, I've been thinking about my first Chanel handbag for my birthday. What would you recommend? My outfits are always casual. Thank you and love your videos. Oh, from New Jersey. Okay, your first Chanel handbag. I always say the first Chanel handbag should be a mini classic flap. They're classic flap just because they look like it, but they're actually seasonal. The reason why is I feel like, well, and they are pretty much like a proper handbag that is on the more entry level pricing for a classic wise. Like, I think now they're like $5,000, which is very expensive. It was already expensive back then. Like, I bought my first square mini when it was, I think, 3,350. So plus tax, it would be like 36,37, which is already a lot, but like now it's 5,000. So it's crazy now. But my point is, it's a proper handbag size bag. It's so mini, but like, it's, for me, my first one would be that. Especially if you're not sure and if you don't know if you want to like buy a classic flap, because the classic flaps with taxes, medium size, it'll be like around 10,000, maybe a little under. I don't know. It's crazy. So I would recommend the mini flap. Now, if you want to even be more sensitive about like money wise and go for like a seasonal piece, they're usually a lot cheaper, like, you know, maybe 1,000 cheaper. Maybe not, because some seasonal styles are also very expensive. So depending on the collection, because some collections are more expensive and some are less expensive, you may be able to find something that is suitable for you and that is still really classic looking, and it can be like a great first Chanel handbag. But I just can't really tell you which one exactly, because seasonal pieces always change. But a good example of something that I would get is like the bucket bag that I have. So like, for example, this one was pretty reasonable for a seasonal piece, and it was, well, I bought it in the States. So like I bought it through a personal shopper, which purchased it in the States, and it was $3,500 at the time. So, like 3,500 US would get you a mini as well back then. That was just last year, by the way. And so, like, you could kind of look around the seasonal pieces as well. But it just really depends on the collection, because not every collection you're going to vibe with, not every collection you're going to find something that's suitable for you. So that's where I would go, because I don't know, especially nowadays, I don't know if you're not sure which one to get. I'm not confident that a classic flap is the answer for you, because it's so expensive. And if you regret it, it's $10,000 down the line, right? Yeah. So that would be my pick. Temi Lalua. Hello, Amy from Alberta. Please call me Temi. Okay, yes, so much more easy. Thank you, Temi. That's the short version. What do you think about the LV My Heritage hand-painted customized pieces? I'd like getting one in the card holder or the pochette. I like it. The thing is, like, if it's a card holder and a pochette is like, which pochette? I don't know which one. Especially if it's a small piece, I feel like it's totally reasonable. Like, especially for like limited pieces that are more unusual and usually, not as like classic looking, basically a little louder in a way. Smaller pieces are definitely a good way to get into it. I totally think so. Will I get one? Probably not, but I'm just saying that I think it's a good idea to get those. Erica says, how do you deal with toxic friendship? That is a really good question. I had a fair share of toxic people in my life, actually, starting from when I was even like in elementary school. And I don't even know if you guys are interested in that, because I feel like we're getting into like a whole lecture session. But like, I've always been someone who's like too nice. I always please. And so people take advantage of me. When I was in as young as elementary school, I've had friends, like one friend really, who would like not allow me to play with another friend. Like, I'm not allowed to, that type of thing. Like, toxic people, you just have to say goodbye, because that's what I did eventually. And I know like it sounds like very like elementary, like childish, but it's true for as an adult too, because eventually I just said, well, if you're that possessive, well, maybe you should be friends with yourself, because I'm done with you. Like, I'm going to be friends with who I want to, because you don't control me. Like, you're not even if you're my mom, that's not right to do. You know what I mean? So like, you have to leave toxic people. You have to leave them. It's harder if it's like your own family. And I'm not saying that my family is toxic, but I'm just saying, like, when you really work with people that are close to you, and if it's family, you really have to even try harder. It's just like husband and wife relationships. Sometimes things don't go, like, a lot of times things go wrong, right? You have to work it out. It's so much harder because the relationship is that much closer and that much more matters that much more. And that is why it's even harder when things come out. when it's like a casual person or a random person or just someone that you see online, maybe it's easier to criticize and to like, to like distance yourself from. But when it's someone closer, you just have to work that much harder at solving the problem. And sometimes it's not solvable, then you withdraw yourself. You just have to get away from the situation and not be in that toxic environment, because toxic people, they exist. It's a real thing. Yeah. Deborah says GSD is German Shepherd. Ah, okay. I have to like notifications. Kate Minnie. Hi, Amy. If you want to know from what year a collection is, what collection is my flat bag based in the series? How do I check? So you won't be able to know exactly, because some series may overlap between 2 years, just because it just is. So the best way to find out is go online on Google and just type it out. Just search Chanel date code, for example, and probably you're gonna land on the Yogi's Closet page. I think they are the one. Is it Yogi's Closet, or just, it's one of those consignments. They have a whole blog post which tells you like which series is roughly which year. They have a very good blog post, and I feel like they do update it, so you can get a very good idea of when your bag was from. But if it happens to be in between 2 years, because like you could be in December, January, right? And that serial number could be either the year before or the year after. So that could happen as well. So just Google it. It's so easy to find. It'll kind of let you know approximately. Bunny says, hi, Amy. What do you think? Do you think a $3,800 US mini rectangular is too much now? It is. It is a lot of money. Not lying about it. And that's the thing, though. Like when I made the whole video about Chanel increase and whether bags are still worth buying, it is worth buying if you're already after the bag and you already had plans to buy it and you were saving towards it. If you already own several of them, maybe you don't need to buy another one. But you might find yourself liking a certain collection so much that you can't stop thinking about it. So in those cases, yeah, it would be worth getting it. Worth in the way, not like worth it in terms of like how much you have to pay. Not that way. It's worth it for your heart. It's worth it because you love it. It's worth it because it makes you happy. So yes, I agree it's expensive. Don't get me wrong. They're very expensive. And I'm actually kind of glad that we're in the middle of a pandemic, I guess, because that means aside from online shopping, which is still a thing, but even before you could online shop, but like at least at the very least now I feel like it's kind of slowing down. You don't really want to go out as much anymore. And even when you do go out, you have to, protect yourself. So in a way, it doesn't motivate me as much to shop. You know what I mean? So I guess that's a good thing. So yes, it is expensive, but it's worth it sometimes. It's worth it if you love it enough, then it's worth it. You know what I mean? Because even like a few of my bags, one bag, 2 pairs of earrings. Is there anything else that I can think of? No, 2 pairs of earrings, 1 bag that I had to do personal shopping. And when you do personal shopping, you have to pay not only the fee for the personal shopping, you have to pay fees for currency exchange. You have to pay fees for, like I actually had to pay like an extra 3% just because I'm using a credit card. So like, these are things that were the terms of the personal shopper. And, in a way, is the bag really worth that much more money? Maybe not, but it's worth it because I like it that much. So I hope that you see what I mean. Yeah, I know, Kat, it's so intense, right? Your chats are always so intense. You always end up like getting into these intense discussions. Oh, hi. Well, how do you pronounce your name? Iwi Lim? Iwi, like, is there a way that you want me to like call you? But hello. Okay. Serenity says, hi Amy, I'm considering buying the Saint Laurent smoking box for my first bag purchase. It is a Minaudière bag and won't hold much, which doesn't seem smart, but I love this style and I really want to try it. Oh my gosh. You know, when I get questions like these, okay, let me tell you. The thing is, like, when you guys ask me like my opinion on things, I'm glad, like I gladly give it. I seriously do. But when you ask me whether you should get it or not, that's when I don't know, because if you ask me like what's the difference between this bag and that bag, then I can tell you. It's almost like a review, like pros and cons. But when you ask me whether you should get a specific bag, especially one that I do not own, and even if I own, like, I don't know if it's worth it for you, right? Because I'm not you. But at the end of the day, I always feel like, okay, Saint Laurent, they don't keep their value. So that's out of the door. You're really purely getting it just for you, like just to please your heart and just to like make you happy. So if it means that much to you, then get it, because whether it's smart or not, that's again yourself or other people judging it. Like in a way, you're kind of judging your purchase already. You're almost feeling like maybe it's not seen as a smart purchase, but don't think that, because yeah, there's always going to be an opinion. Someone else is going to is always going to have an opinion. You may have an opinion. Sometimes you judge. Sometimes you're the worst enemy of yourself. So like, just really ask yourself if it means that much to you, if it makes you is so happy, makes your heart sing that much, then get it. I have bags that no one would ever want to buy, but I do. I get a lot of that with my round clutch, with my Chanel one, but it's fine. That's their opinion, not mine. Serenity says, part 2 of the question. I am only 19 and in my first year of college, but I'm interested in starting my collection. Thank you for addressing bigger problems and advocating for peace and kindness. You're only 19. Well, fashion, never too young, never too old, really. I wish I started earlier, but I kind of started early enough for fashion. Like I dressed up and everything, but nothing label, okay? Really cheap stuff. I just put it together, you know, color coordinate and everything. As long as it fits your body, then it looks great. So yeah, don't worry about it. If it makes your heart sing, if you can afford it, like don't get into debt. If you can afford it, if it makes your heart sing, save up for it, get it, you're gonna love it. And if other people don't love it, why does it matter that much? It doesn't really, as long as you love it. Seriously. Erica says, when it comes to luxury handbag costs, how much is too much? Do you tell yourself it's not worth it? Yeah. Erica, yeah, good question. Case by case basis, I think. Like, for example, and I totally agree with when Kat said how she really wants the Chanel 19. I know she really wants it. But at this point, with the price increase, even though it was kind of more modest for the Chanel 19, it's still, I mean, they started the price pretty high to begin with, right? So any increase just jumps. So I actually agree that, you know, at a certain point, you almost feel like you have to contemplate that much harder before you make any decisions. So in in an example from me, for example, is the, I really want the trendy CC. I really want the Lady Dior. Okay, let's not talk about Hermès. I don't even know how much they cost. But like, for example, Lady Dior and trendy CC, right? The trendy CC, the price went up a little bit, but it's almost less, it's not that significant, but it went up a little bit. But with taxes and everything, it's closer, it's really closer to like 7,500, right? That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That's, to put it in perspective, how much that's half a, no, that's not half a car. Well, that's half a car pre-tax, like a half a cheap car pre-tax, but like, no, that's like a whole trip, like a whole, like I can take my whole family to Hawaii, like, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot of money. So when it's a case by case, like I really have to, like, when I'm in the moment, when I'm examining the bag in front of me, when I'm presented the one that I want, it depends on that moment. Like I said, it's like you kind of almost know. You either fall in love right away or you don't. It's like love at first sight. So I was kind of, I'm not gonna lie, like I was a little skeptic when I first thought about getting the Chanel 19. I told my SA I wanted to see it. So on the day of the launch, I lined up, I got there, and they had, I think they had a few come in because it was launch day. So I was given one to look at, to try it out. And I completely fell in love. Like I cannot describe it. It's like you just know. You like you get it and you're like, oh, it's like you cannot not take it home. So in those cases, even if the price was crazy, like even when I bought it at the initial price, it was already very expensive. I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is gonna cost me like $6,000 something. Is it really worth it? Like, but I love it that much on the spot that I had to take it home. So it's case by case. If there's any sort of doubt, any sort of flaws, then that would have stopped me from getting it. Because already the price was so high, that makes me so uncomfortable. Like I'm in my like not so comfortable zone. Then if there's anything wrong at all, then I'll just say no. But it makes it so hard. It makes it so much harder to say no if you completely fall in love with it, which is also a sign that you're most likely gonna love the bag no matter what, which is a good sign, because you can also think of it like in terms of like, 5-10 years later, and you don't even have to go that far, like 3 years later, for example. If you're still in love with your bag, which chances are you might still be, because if you loved it that much the first time and it was perfect, chances are you're going to still love it in 3 years, and it's worth it, because 3 years later your bag would be costing you, it would cost like even more, and you would be mad at yourself for not getting it in the first place. Oh, hi, Carolina. Thank you for the super chat. It's like blows up in my in my view. Thank you so much. So I hope this makes sense to you. I know it's a very long-winded question, but it really is a case by case, because at this point in time, with everything going up in price so fast and at such frequent, like LV is doing like so many times already, and we're only in June. It's a matter of case by case. It's a matter of like when you actually get it, then you'll know if it's worth it. Thank you, Clara. You guys are my Amy's army. So yeah, if you guys have been getting value so far, smash that like button. Thank you. Okay, Betty, do you like the Loewe puzzle bag? Haha, I don't own one. So Betty, I don't own a Loewe. I have checked it out. I checked it out in the small size and the mini size. The mini is too small. And I love small bags, but it's just like, it's kind of boxy in a way that I felt like it was, because of its size, I felt like it was harder to get in and out. So the small size, so the size up that, I felt like it was the perfect size. The size even further from that, the medium, I felt like it was looking a bit too boxy again. But that's just depending on your body shape. So just for me, I like the is it the middle size, the small size? So I liked it. Now the question is color. I couldn't, maybe they didn't have that many options here because we only have Loewe in department stores. So we don't really have that much to choose from. They only had a tan color, a black. I think they had a red, like a kind of like an orange red type of color. So it was very limited. And I didn't vibe with any of the colors. So that was the whole reason why I didn't get any. Who knows, maybe if they have a new release and they come up with like another one that I completely fall in love, I might get it. And the reason why I was contemplating that bag is because it gives me Speedy vibe, but in a good way. Like, I don't use my Speedy, you guys know that, but I really like the handle. I like a good one handle, so you can. I thought I was a crossbody bag person, but I'm actually a top handle person. I can be both, but I really like top handles that are super comfortable. So examples of that are Chanel 19 top handle. I don't know why, I just love the top handle. I love the Coco handle, top handle. I love the top handles from my Fendi bags. They're excellent. I love the top handle of this. So like, even though it does come with this long chain, I like to use top handle more on this bag. Like some bags, even though they have more options and they're pretty versatile, I end up using the top handle and just holding it like that more, or like on the crook of the arm. So I actually really like top handle features that are made well. Like a good top handle just is like, it's so good. Oh, thank you, Katie. Thank you for the super chat. So sweet of you. So yeah, that's the whole reason why I was contemplating it. I also love how spacious it is. It almost feels like it can be a good everyday type of bag, but it looks a little different. But the only reason why I haven't gotten one yet is because I did not like any colors, and they somehow just didn't work for me. Because they also had the pebbled version versus the smooth version. They just didn't have a combination that I liked. Kat says that the large is now 8.2K Singapore dollars. Yeah. That's the thing though. It's such a high price. You literally have to like be head over heels, like no, like zero doubts, 100% love when you see it. Literally, it has to be like confident of a purchase. JJ says, Chanel 19, you heard that it's slouchy. It is. It is, JJ. I have it right there. It's a slouchy bag because it is the style. It's a pillow style. It's a pillow style, which is why it's supposed to be slouchy. So it's completely normal. And I know that like for a lot of bag lovers, or maybe not bag lovers, I shouldn't say that. For a lot of people who worry about investment value, because a lot of bag lovers don't care. Like, especially if you're like I don't want to say a true fashionista, because everyone can be a fashionista, but I'm just saying like people who really buy because of style and they don't really care about, cost, and you don't care about like how much it'll be worth and whether it'll be in trend anymore later. Like those people, they won't care that it's slouchy, because slouchy equals losing value in the future. They don't care about that. They care about the style. They care about how it looks. They care about how it feels. They care about how they can style it with their wardrobe. So in a way, there's two types of people. There are people who don't care because they truly are like real fashion like lovers. And there's the type of people who are fashion lovers, but they care about the value of it later. Like they want it to retain value. And I totally get it, because these things are expensive and we don't all have like a tree full of money to like grab, right? So I get it. I totally get it that the notion of slouchy means keeping value less and being too trendy for the future. I get it. And that is why it's not a bag for everyone, and it's fine. If you like the style enough that you don't care about that, because logically speaking, yeah, it may not be in style anymore later. It won't keep its value as good, and people will start not liking this style. Therefore, value of this diminishes because of supply and demand. Totally fine by me. At least I think so. But if you're not comfortable with it and you're too conscious of this, the risk of it not being, you know, as high value anymore, then don't get it. If you have any slight doubt, anytime you have any doubt, just don't get it. But yeah, an organizer will be very, very helpful. I do like having the organizer in it when I store it. When I use it, I don't mind it if it's slouchy, but I do still like using the organizer too, sometimes with the bag. It depends on the mood, because sometimes organizer get in the way. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes you just wish that the organizer was not there and you just could just use the bag and just really enjoy the bag. But sometimes you love the organizer there because it really helps you out, right? So it really just depends. Okay, it's 8:58 and I really want to be like, you know, we gotta, like, me and Kat, we gotta like really get used to the 1 hour mark. So we're gonna try to wrap up, okay, guys? I know it's really early, but I'm still seeing some questions come in. So Dogs Cane, do you have any information on the new Louis Vuitton Petite Malle Soupe? I don't. I wish I do. I've been keeping less up to date with like the newer releases. I do see them when they come out, but I have been doing less research beforehand. Because of, I don't know about you, like I said earlier, I'm like, I don't even know why you would have time to be negative, because I'm so busy, I don't have time to be negative. By the way, we're starting, we just got approved for our kitchen work, so it's gonna start soon. I'm gonna have a kitchen soon. Maybe in 3 weeks, I shall have a kitchen to use again and not have to wash every single thing, everything in the washroom. It's very tedious. Let me tell you that. Erica says, what's your current everyday bag? Haha, that is this one. You must have not seen my video, Erica. It's my latest video of my latest 5 handbags where I kind of gave an update, because I keep getting asked, like, do you still like it? Do you recommend it? Should I get it? Should I get this? Should I get that? So I kind of made an update on all the 5 bags. And it was a collab video, by the way. This one is my current everyday bag, and I highly recommend it. I seriously, Clara, congrats, she just got hers, right? No, Clara, you're waiting. Sorry, I mixed up. Another friend of mine was also trying to get hers, and she just got it. Sorry, Clara didn't get it yet. Yeah, it's the most surprising handbag of this year. Remember how like the Palm Springs, for a lot of people, it was surprising. Like they didn't like it at first because they're like, oh, it's just like it's like a little backpack for kids. Why would you want to get it? But then once they get it, and then of course for so many years and still to this day, it's such a coveted sought after bag, still very hard to get, because it's such a squishy, comfortable, unexpected, everyday bag. It's such a great bag, and this is kind of along the lines of that. Different vibe, because this one is kind of like a deconstructed style. You can totally use one or everything together, but it's so comfortable. The strap is so comfortable. During this time of pandemic, I want to get in and out of my car and touching the least possible things possible. Like I don't even want to touch my bag. I don't want to touch the door handle. I don't want to touch anything, right? Because otherwise I have to keep sanitizing. And even if you sanitize, it may not be enough. Washing your hands with soap and water is still the the best way, right? So once it's on my body like that, I don't move it. I get in and out of the car. I get in and out of the like grocery store, whatnot. I don't move it. I just leave it on like that. And it doesn't hurt. Like it's super comfortable because it's flat against my back, right? The strap. And the fact that there's 2 pouches, you can organize things that you touch constantly and things that you don't touch constantly. So in the back, I like having my hand sanitizer. And so like, I even leave the bag open a little bit, like, because I leave my sanitizer standing up. So I leave my bag open a little bit. I put my sanitizer here and just grab it in and out. So easy. And then in the front, I have my phone. I have stuff that I kind of reach in and out a bit more. The back compartment, I don't really open or close it that much. I just put my sanitizer here so that it kind of just easy grab and go. So yeah, this one was my current favorite. Such a long explanation just to explain why I love it, but it really, I recommend it. I really recommend this bag. What? What are you talking about, Sunny? So many people, including me, butchered the names. Which names? Evie and Nguyen, have you made a video about inserts you use? I did. My most recent video, I just did a video with Samorga. But I have, there's 2 companies right now that do felt inserts from Korea, and they're pretty much the top notch because the way they do theirs, like the way they finish theirs and the way they like the way they fit inside your bag is so perfect. Let me just show you this one, for example. So like for this one, it fits exactly this, like the inside of the bag. So it's like custom made for your bag, right? And they're the way they finish it, the number of stitches that they put on, the way like there's no weird bulges, no weird seams. It's just the way it's like these Korean felt organizers are. They just are superior in my opinion. I've tried a few other ones. Like the problem with the other ones is that because they're not exact measurements like this one, it's literally, it fits exactly how the inside of your bag is. That alone really makes a huge difference. And the fact that these fabrics, they're kind of pliable, like they're very flexible, but they're also durable. So yeah, I recommend the Korean ones. They just are amazing. Erica says, think she does. I'd love to hear Amy speak more French. That's funny. MK is not here. He said he would try to join, but I'm actually glad that he's sleeping because MK is from France. And we were just having this discussion on the comment section from my last live stream. If you guys want to read it, he always writes the best comments. His comments are like blog posts, seriously. But we were just talking about how French accents around the world is so different, and predominantly the ones in France compared to the ones in Canada. So in France, just like in England, for example, or in the UK, you have people like, I want to give you the UK example because you guys associate with English better. So like even within UK, you have different regions and just people from like, yeah, different regions. Okay. Yeah. And you also have Ireland and Scottish, and I know they're not part of the UK, or are they part of the UK? I actually don't think they are, but like they all have different accents, right? And they all have like sometimes such different way of pronouncing the exact same thing. Like sometimes literally so different that you can't even understand it. Like I have a hard time understanding Scottish English or Ireland or New Zealand English. For some reason, they sound so different, okay? So the French in France versus the French in Quebec, is so different. Like, it's so different. It's literally night and day almost. But even within Quebec, like, so within France also, as well, like, they're different regions, they all have their nuances, but even within Quebec, they're like different. Like, you know, the metropolitan Montreal, they speak kind of, I guess, a little bit more clearer in a way. But even then, like, you have people that come from different places of Quebec, and they sometimes are in Montreal. Like, they literally speak so differently, right? And I grew up in Quebec, so I understand. I would say that I understand like 99% of every way they speak. I don't know if it's really called a dialect, but it's just the way they speak and their slangs and just the way it's so. I understand most of it, right? Whereas when a French person from France speaks to me, I understand it too. But if they spoke too fast, just because of the way they pronounce things, and if they spoke too fast to me, like literally, like if they were talking to, let's say, their friends that way and they talk that way to me, I may not understand everything at first. That's why there is such a big difference in like, yeah, you guys get it, right? Like, even English, there's so many different like so many ways of pronouncing the same thing just because you come from a different region. And it's exactly the same for French, and it's exactly the same for even Chinese. Like, but Chinese, actually, they have dialects. They have like hundreds of dialects, right? Indian language also, I hear it's crazy. So like, it's the same thing. So it's basically depends on where you come from, where you learned your French. You want to hear me speak more French? I can, but like, who am I speaking to? I can maybe, like, I can tell you how to pronounce things, and I'll try to be as neutral as possible, because I don't speak French from France, but I also am not super Québécoise. I can be, but I can be more Canadian French, which is a little bit more neutral. Just like our prime minister, he's Canadian. His French is more Canadian French, and it's you can hear it better. Like, it's not as slangy and it's not as mispronounced in a way. Like, I don't know how to say it better. Mini Lindy. Yeah, the Mini Lindy would be awesome, actually. I really like the okay, talking about Hermès bags, guys, it's like someone says hi, Jerusha. Is Jerusha here? Oh, hi, Jerusha. Oh my gosh, you're here? Hi, Jerusha, love you. What was I saying? Oh, Hermès bags. Oh my gosh, Hermès bags. Who was telling me? Oh, my sister-in-law. You know, sometimes there's these tags going around on Instagram, like we tag each other, and then so when I have time, I do them. I try to do as much as I can. So there was one tag that's like your 3 current items on your wish list. So I put my wish list, which is the trendy CC, the Lady Dior, and also Birkin 25. And so I did not know that my sister-in-law would actually try to look up how much the Birkin costs. We all know it's a lot, right? We all know it's a lot, but she just had no idea that it was that much. And I don't even know how much, like, where she found the information, because I'm pretty sure it's outdated. By the time you see like a price list on someone's blog posts, it's probably not even the case. And even if it's the case, it does not matter, because most of the time you can't get it. Like, you can't get the bag on your first trial at the store. We all know that. It's the whole experience is different. You have to build a history. You have to build a purchase history. You have to probably buy like a 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 sort of ratio amount equivalent to how much your bag is worth, even before you get offered one, right? So not sure where she got the info, but she probably saw it somewhere that it's like along the lines of like tens of thousands of dollars, right? Because that is how much it costs at least. Retail, not even speaking like building history or buying from a personal shopper. So yeah, I don't even know how I'm gonna get my first Hermès bag. I seriously don't know. I need a miracle. Like I need to literally win the lottery or somehow like, yeah, I don't know. I need a miracle. Or I need a very like influential friend that can like hook me up or something. I seriously don't know. I know, never an hour, I know, but I feel bad stopping in the middle when you guys are like, I know I start my thing at 8 o'clock and I get it that no, not everyone can like get here on the dot, but like now I feel bad for leaving right away. So let me just stay on a little bit more. Opinions on the Hermès Constance, Maria. I personally like it a lot. I tried my friend's, what's her name again? Oh my gosh. Oh, her face is in my head, but I tried her Constance 18, I think. Chenny, oh my gosh. I met her in person in Montreal 2 years ago when I visited my family. So I tried hers, I loved it. I didn't play with it because I mean it was an Hermès bag, okay? I didn't want to like ruin it or anything, even though hers has a lot of scratches and she's pretty. She doesn't baby her bags. I feel like I baby my bags. Like the way I observed her handle her bags, I'm like, okay, I'm a lot more gentle with my bags. But not judging, just saying that's how she is. But I didn't play with her bag, but I did try it on my body, crossbody. I doubled up the strap, tried it on. It looks so perfect. It looks so good. I really want one. But again, how do you get one? Because the Constance, the Birkin, the Kellys, they're so hard to get. And I want to get a brand new one. I'm not lying. I know it's a lot, but I literally want to get brand new from the store, experience myself type of thing. Kat says, oh, okay. So Kat wants me to pronounce a few things in French. So Chanel in French, I would pronounce it. So I would pronounce it Chanel because should I even do the alphabet? Not necessarily. Chanel. It's pretty close to Chanel. I like English. Okay, vachetta or vacchetta. Vacchetta is actually Italian. It's the Italian word of cowhide, raw cowhide leather. So that's vacchetta. But in French, it's actually vachette. So it's an E at the end. Vachette. And then Hermès, well, it's Hermès. 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 There's an accent on the last E. And it's so there's 3 accents in French. Accent aigu, accent circonflexe, and accent grave. So the last E has an accent grave, and it's pronounced E. If it's okay, you guys don't need to know that. Basically, Chanel, Vachette, Hermès. So that's what I pronounce. that's like the little French lesson from today. And I think the way I pronounce it is pretty French Canadian. Like I try to be like when I speak, I try to be more neutral because yeah, I like it more neutral. It's not Parisian at all, but it's also not super Québécois, the way I speak, even though I can. But I like to stay a bit more neutral. Katie says, interesting, and you know my bucket bag issue with them. Yeah, I saw yours. Unfortunately, the thing is, like, even when oh, Sunny says vaquera is another great one I cannot pronounce. That's the thing. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Really, it doesn't. People who criticize you, criticize your pronunciation, they just don't know any better. They really don't. Okay? Like, honestly, who are you to judge someone else who's not their tongue. Like, why? It's like, it's so pointless, first of all, okay? And that's another form of intolerance. Why? Does it kill you to like, it really does not matter, okay? But if you want to learn it, that's perfectly fine. But vaquetta is actually Italian. I also took Italian like 1 semester. But the French word is vachette. But yeah, going back to KT, yeah, I know the thing is with Chanel bags and any bags actually, that's why I am so precise and anal sometimes when I go through the bags before I take them home. And even I can miss something sometimes. I did miss something one time, but if I miss it, then usually it's kind of minor. So in a way, it doesn't matter as much because they're supposedly handmade. But yeah, I literally look at everything. It's too bad that your strap, the thing was right in the middle, right? Like they ended it right in front, like in the middle of the. I wonder if you could just move the strap then. Just move it to the side, right? Can you do that? Did they do that for you? Oh, hi, Betua. Bichua, is that how you say your name? Bichua? Bichua? JJ said, what is the year issue with Chanel? Year issue? My issue or your issue? Okay, I don't understand the question. I'm sorry. Maria says, Hermès, Birkin, Kelly Constance, fashion foul, nailing it. Ask Jerusha. I agree, except the only thing, Maria, with fashion file, and plus the fact that borders are okay. There's a few issues with that. Okay, I agree. Fashion file has great selection. I always stock the site. Trust me, I always do. But I kind of touched on it last. Was it last week? I talked about duties for Canadians. So if I do decide to buy a Birkin, for example, from Fashion File, oh my gosh, the taxes and duties that I pay on top of that when I import it into Canada, it's scary. Like, I know you can argue that it's almost the same as like, spending your quota. But I wonder if I would rather spend the quota in a way. Like, I'm saying that now, but like, I still want the retail experience, at least the very first time. Like, I want to get my first Hermès bag from Hermès, period. Like, that's just, and I hear that the easiest way to do that is just to get it in Europe. So perhaps I just need to wait till this whole thing is gone, safe to travel, and everything is reopened so that I can try my chances there. Because I really want it brand new from there. So Lily Zhang is asking, which bag organizer do I like more? This is a great question, but it's also it's so easy to debate. I mean, it's hard to debate in a way because they both make it excellently well. Like, I'm not joking. They both. I bought my first Samorga years ago for my Speedy Bee actually, and I loved it. And I had Zumuni in the middle, like recently last year, and now I'm working with Samorga. I love them both. They both make really excellent quality products. Literally, there's nothing to complain about. Only thing is, Samorga has been around for a lot longer, and they also have an extensive. They have like basically any bags that you can think of, almost. They will have an organizer for that. And so you don't have to wait for them to, you don't have to give your own measurements, first of all, which can lead to errors, which is a problem, not a problem, but which is a limitation with Zumuni because they are a very new company. They are, they're associated with Ritzy, like the official Ritzy. And I don't really even know what that is, to be honest, but I see Ritzy everywhere on Facebook, so I don't actually really know what it is, but they're officially associated with them. I almost feel like it's like another community for like luxury handbags, but they have a very limited style. So the handbag that you want, like the organizer that you want for your handbag, may not be available with them. And you could either provide your own measurements, but that can be challenging, right? And then the other thing is, unless you want to wait for them to acquire that design, to make that design. So basically they both make absolutely beautiful organizers. And I just, yeah, you just have to, it's like shopping for Honda Civic and like, I don't know, I want to say Toyota Corolla. Like, how do you choose? Like, they both have similar features. They're both excellent, both reliable. You just pick the one that works better for you and that's readily available, because maybe Honda Civics are all sold out, so you buy Corolla. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that they're like exactly the same, but it's kind of along the lines of that, really. It really is. Cat L. You know what, Cat? It's so funny when you pronounce things, and not in a bad way. Like, when I try to like describe to you how to pronounce, like during your live, it's so funny when you say it. And then you teach your whole audience too. I love it. Yeah, everyone's pronouncing out loud. Honestly, maybe the next live stream, we could just do French words. And yeah, why don't we do that? We could like, you can just ask me any brands you want. But I don't know how far you want me to go. Like, because literally, if you want to remember how to pronounce things, you either just remember it or you really learn the basics. Like, first you learn how to say the alphabet. And I don't know if I really need to like be doing a whole live stream just based on that, because people would get bored and just like leave. But that's the first thing you want to do. And then second is like you put syllables together, and then you start pronouncing syllables, because that's when you start putting things together. Like, words are made of syllables, right? So when you can pronounce the different syllables, then you can pronounce actual words. And then, yeah, there will be exceptions and everything, but once you have the basics, you can pronounce anything. That is how it works. Sunny says, pronounce Saint Laurent, and I just missed it because it kind of jumped. Saint Laurent. Saint Laurent. L-A-U. So A-U is also, A-U is the same pronunciation as O. A-U is O. Saint Laurent. But I still can't find where you are at now, because you kind of jumped. I mean, the thing jumped, the live chat jumped. Oh, KT, I have to go. Okay. Bye, KT. Please do a French video for us. But to which extent do French alphabets? Seriously, you guys really want me to do that? Because I'm not sure. Are you guys gonna like just all jump off and like not want to know? I could say the alphabet right here. But I feel like you need okay, I'll say it very fast. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So those are the alphabets. So you see, like French, like when you pronounce like the really, like, you know how English P's and T's, they're very harsh, like P, T, C, like it's very harsh. French is very like soft. C, D, B, Q, like it's very soft. So that is why when you say like, and all, okay. Oh, but there's so many things to teach. Like there's so many exceptions. Like when you say like, for example, vachette, you don't pronounce the the E at the end, right? Because if you did pronounce it, it would be vachette, because E is E. So lots of exceptions in French, like words you never pronounce. Usually you never pronounce the E's, the S, the T's at the end, because those are muet is those are what is muet in English? Oh, those are silent. So you usually don't say the last E, S, T, those things. But there are exceptions too. Like you just have to know them, and you just know by memorizing. You just literally you learn it. There's grammar, French grammar, like Latin grammar. French is a Latin language. Is so there's so many exceptions. In a way, Chinese is easier because their grammar is so like there's no past tense, present tense. Like there's none of that in Chinese. There isn't. You just say yesterday, da 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 da, right? So that's like past tense. There's no tense in Chinese language. But then of course Chinese language is their own, like the characters and everything, that's hard too. But like, you know, like Latin languages, like if you look at the Becherel, which is the conjugation of French verbs, you're gonna see so many like how like there's like past tense, but there's like passé composé, then there's passé blah, 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 and there's so many tense, I even forget all of them, that it's a chore just to remember actual verbs and how they are all conjugated. And even within like you know, there's, you know how like there's the six like I, you, they, them, we, them. So like all of these different persons, pronouns, they're all conjugated differently. So like, I mean, there's a bunch of exceptions. It's very, very hard. Trust me, it was very hard to learn French, but I had no choice. I had to. And even then, my French is very rusty. Like I pronounce it properly and everything, but writing wise, like I write back comments to MK now in French. Oh my gosh, takes me forever. But yes, Kat. Saint Laurent. Saint Laurent. But if it was Québécois, it'd be like Saint Laurent. You know, it's like kind of different. But I try to be as neutral as I can. Okay, Water Droplet says, can you please cover the packaging and boxes part? Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes. We have to talk about that. So that was a question about, Christina asked me a question to cover the question about what do you do with your packaging and your boxes, your luxury packaging and boxes, because they accumulate so much, right? And I promised her that I would talk about it. So what do you guys do? I really want you guys to like tell us what you do with them, because I've still been collecting them, as in I keep them, but I also try to reuse them in a way. Like I actually have a bunch of the old LV packaging, like the brown bags and the brown boxes, and I still have them. And sometimes I reuse the bags to like gift, like, you know, when I gift gifts and everything, although, you know, it doesn't mean that I'm gifting a Louis Vuitton, but like I'm just reusing the bags just because they're so nice and I don't want to waste them. So what do you guys do? Like I have been still keeping mine just because well, first of all, if I do sell anything, I want to have the original packaging for the buyer. But I also want to keep them just because it's kind of like a keepsake, and I'm not tired of them yet, but at one point I'm going to run out of space, right? And so far I've been just compacting them very, very much. Like bags, they're all folded. Boxes, if they can be folded, because you can undo some of the boxes now, the newer ones, you can undo them and then really compact them as much as possible and put it on like a very specific corner that you don't really go through. So I've been doing that, but like I'm almost contemplating not getting any more packages going forward because it's just too much. But then if it's a specific bag size that I don't have, And in case I want to just have the box in the future, whether for resale or just for moving, I don't know what, I might still get it. So what do you guys do with it? Because, and the other thing too, like, I want to keep all my Chanel boxes. I'm a Chanel fan, not gonna lie, so I'm keeping all my Chanel boxes. But LV, I can get away with not having them or even not keeping them. Obviously, if I don't keep them, I want to just like give them away. I don't want to like just recycle them. Like, it's such a waste, right? But like, and also you could use them. Actually, I do use a few of them to store all my receipts. So you can sort of almost do, try. I know I should file my receipts properly for insurance purposes. That's something that I haven't done yet, but you can also try to organize it in those boxes. But yeah, what do you guys do with them? Because I seriously didn't know how to, I can tell her what I do, but basically it's not really helping, right? I just keep everything in a way. Maria says it's important if you are going to Hermès or going to Paris to discuss the leathers. Oh, for Hermès, right? Yeah, I have some knowledge for the leathers, but not like extensively. I have some knowledges and I have some knowledge, but yes, W is W. But you say exactly, you got it. W is not, is W is in English is double the U, but in French it's double the V. You got it. You caught it. So good of you. Oh, Tammy says, oh my God, my son stopped what he was doing when you started the alphabet. He was so excited. Oh, so cute. Thank you so much. You can rewatch it, rewind it, and rewatch it later. Kat says, one day I'll be able to sing the alphabet and impress my CA. That is so funny. Yeah, you could totally. I'm sure there's French tutorials on YouTube. Just find one. I guess you wouldn't know if they're correct, right? That's the issue. Maria says, I've been in Paris and gotten better service just knowing some French at Hermès. Oh, they don't expect you to be fluent, but if you're buying towards a quota bag, gives you a little bit more credibility. That is good to know, because I'm definitely going to use that to my advantage. But you know what's funny too? It's I feel like when I was in Paris, I tried to speak French sometimes when I ordered food. And they know, like, I don't want to say that they're a little snobbish, but I have to say that they are a little bit, because that's also their reputation. Some of them are very nice, don't get me wrong. Some of them, they're so nice. They carried, like, they just kept chatting with us, and it was so fun. But some of them were pretty snobbish, and when they heard us, they knew that we were not from there. They just started speaking English with us instead. So unfortunately, there are people like that. Intolerance. Oh my gosh. Why is there so much intolerance in this world? Like, seriously, we don't need any more intolerance. It's the 21st century already. My gosh. Rio says, maybe we can learn all the important phrases in French to get our Birkins, Kellys, and Constance at the FSH store. That is so funny. Well, if you want to say something, just ask me, and then I'll just like translate it for you right there. I hope I can. Clara says, I undo and flatten them to save space. Yeah, exactly. I do that too, Clara. But like, yeah, I think I'm okay now, because I only have about 20 bags, right? So like, I don't really have that many boxes. I have boxes for 20 bags, maybe a few more, but because sometimes essays, they are so nice, they give you extra bag or whatever, extra whatever. So I do have the extras too. But to which point do you stop collecting them? Like, to which point do you stop keeping them, basically? Like, that's my question. Like, or are you just gonna keep keeping them, all of them, forever? Is that what you're gonna do, basically? I don't know. Maria says the new LV large boxes are almost like a trunk on their own. I agree. You know, I still have, Maria, you know, I still have my it's sitting right there. My huge, humongous, this is my hugest, most humongous. If any of you have the Chanel Deauville tote, you know how big this box is, okay? It's humongous. It's literally a table. That's why I'm using it as my nightstand. It's my nightstand now. And the reason why I still have it is because when I sold the bag, I told the buyer, I said, I can send you the box, but it's going to cost a lot of money. Do you really want to pay for the box? Like, do you want to pay for the weight and the size of the box just so that you get the box? And she's like, nah, I have so many boxes, she doesn't care. So I'm like, oh, phew, thanks. But that's why I still have the box with me. It's huge. It's humongous. Yes, Kat's live stream is tomorrow. So mine is the day before, hers is tomorrow, and hers is 2 hours earlier because I moved mine 2 hours later. Vienka says, Amy, can you talk about insurance for bags? How does it work? Oh, babe, it's so different. Like everywhere, like, you know, I've had insurance, like home insurance back in Quebec when I owned my property there. And then the insurance here is slightly different. So like the companies themselves, they're a little bit different. The clauses of each company, they could be different as well. So I'm going to be honest, like, I don't know if everything I have is fully insured. Probably not. I know it's bad, but yeah, so that's one. So the other thing is usually anything high value like jewelry, watches, if you're into luxury, like you most likely are going to have a lot of very expensive, like one item is very expensive, and most insurance clauses don't cover a large amount of those things. They will usually have they'll have an X amount, and that X amount could be like, you know, maybe for jewelry, the most basic coverage is maybe like they'll cover like, I don't know, $1,000 worth of jewelry. $1,000, what can you get? Nothing, right? Basically, you get one thing or less than one thing. So in those cases, basic insurance is not enough for you. Like basic insurance is for someone who literally has no dependents, has almost like no belongings except the basics, like, you know, beds and TVs and like whatever furniture, and don't really have anything expensive, no expensive clothes, nothing like that. And if they were to start off, they'll have some money to, like, you know, help them out, start off everything from scratch, but it won't cover everything. And I don't believe any insurance will cover everything unless you buy the extras. So you have to work with your company, and then you have to see what they offer. They may not even offer everything for, basically you have to, like, you almost have to like buy extra insurance for each of your bag in a way, if you want to insure all of them 100%. Because they really are not going to insure. They cannot give you like a 10, 20,000, like actually $10,000 and $20,000 is still not going to replace my whole collection. Let's be real. Like 2 bags is like, especially nowadays, 1 bag is almost $10,000 worth, right? If you're going to replace it, it's not gonna. So you have to almost buy the extra per item, per thing that you're gonna insure. So like, for example, my wedding set, it's insured because we bought the extra just for the wedding set. So it only insures this item. So you have to really work with your company because it's so different. Maria says, Hermès mothership must know all the leathers. Swift, Epsom, Clemence, Togo. Take LADT. What is that? Evercolor. Is that a leather type? I did not know that. Evercolor and older ones. Box. Evergreen. Evergreen, or is it Evergreen? Never heard of that. Oh my gosh. Because they will ask you for your preference. Yeah, so good to know, Maria. I know Swift, Epsom, Clemence, Togo. Do not know the take something. Evercolor I know of. Box I know. Evergreen. Never heard of Evergreen. Evergreen? But yeah, definitely will do my research before. Good thing I'm not ready to buy. Oh, hi, Gina. Amy, are you only able to receive letters at your P.O. box? No, I can receive anything at my P.O. box, babe. Anything. What are you sending me? Let me know first, okay? And plus, like, please, yeah, like, don't waste your monies, guys. I'm happy to just like receive your letters. But yeah, my PO box is open for anything. Clara. Oh, what are you guys talking about? Okay, so I guess everyone's leaving. You know what? We're already at 42 minutes. 42 minutes over the 1 hour, and I really said that I would. You know what? We're gonna make a good. Okay, we're gonna be 15 minutes early today, as in like we're gonna be, instead of 2 hours, we're gonna be an hour 45. So anyway, I think that's pretty much it. The end of this discussion. I know we started off a little bit kind of with a. Is it a sensitive topic? It's not. It's just me kind of like giving my 2 cents, like just. Again, raising more awareness about being more self-aware, just being more self-aware. But because we can all be in such a rut sometimes, and I feel like, especially with like when just using my example with my brother, like I feel like a lot of it is misunderstanding. And it's not just me and him, it's him and the rest of my family. So don't think that I have an issue with him. I really don't. Like I never even thought that he would think that of us, right? So, and I don't want to elaborate because it's so personal, but just know that, you know, life is all full of ups and downs, but we have a choice to make. We can choose kindness and we can choose to be peaceful. And yes, it's not always possible in a way that, you know, like you can get hurt, you can get frustrated, you can get angry. Yes, all those things are true. And when that happens, or if you get upset or sad or very, someone hurt you badly, this is my trick. Take 5, 10, I don't know, 15 minutes, an hour, whatever time frame, a limited amount of time. Seriously, a limited amount of time, and be very like very emotional about it. Whatever emotion that is, okay? And then after that, decide, because you have the choice, you can control that. Decide to move on from it, because it really is no good to dwell into the negativity. It really isn't. It's just going to do you harm, and it's probably going to make whoever you're in conflict with not feel any better either. Like, I don't think conflict and like negativity is meant to be a constant in people's lives. Yes, you need like the ups to feel, you need the down to feel the ups in a way, but it's just, you have the choice. Choose kindness. Seriously, it's just choose to be neutral, choose to be as optimist, and as knowing that good can, like knowing that it can be better, even if it's at the lowest. Like, I don't know, I'm kind of all over the place. I hope you guys know what I mean. Right, Deborah? You can choose. You have the power to like, let's for example, if you're in a position, in a situation where someone really is so bad, they hurt you and everything, and they're terrible and everything, choose to, well, not let that happen anymore, in a way that, you know, you either distance from yourself from that person, or you just solve it with that person, because they probably also don't mean it. You know what I mean? Like, unless that person is malicious, because there are people like that. But I'm just saying, most of the time, it's just a misunderstanding. And I feel like if everybody did a little bit more, if everybody was more tolerant, then these bigger issues such as racism and like discrimination and things like that would be less as well. In a way, those are just a bigger form of intolerance. They really are. Oh, Maria, another super chat. Thank you so much. Yes, we must be positive going into the future. We have to be, because come on, like we're in 2020. Like I know we've made some advances. We've made so many improvements and we're way more diverse than ever. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. Like if you went back to two live streams ago? Oh my gosh, there was some debate, and not even debate, like there was some like trash talking, and that's in the comment section. And you know what? In the end, it's a whole misunderstanding, because in the end, everything was okay. So that's the thing, like, and especially in the world of online and in the digital world, it's so easy to get misunderstood, especially when you type. You can't see the emotion behind the typing. So if you already are in a bad mood and you read something that sounds a bit angry to you, you automatically associate that person to be malicious and everything, but they may not be. Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of times it could be yourself having these preconception, and a lot of times the other person may also not mean it. Of course, there are trolls. Of course, there are haters, and those. But you know what? We have to have compassion for those individuals too, because they probably have so many bad things happen to them, and they are in a very bad space, and in a way, maybe they just need to be loved. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying that I have that. Like, I'm not saying that I can do it. Like, when I see those things, like, I don't have time for this, I just block it. But like, you know what I mean? Like, in a way, you just ignore it, basically. Becky, you said it perfectly. No one can ever hurt you unless you allow it yourself. It's so true. And I feel like a lot of us get hurt because we allow it on ourselves. Honestly, I know it's a constant, like it's a constant, like you always have to work on it. Nobody is perfect. No one is like confident all the time. No one, even the most, richest person or prettiest person in the world, no one is. They always have to be working on it. And the more you practice, like anything, the more you practice, the better you get at it. Seriously, it really is. Sunny, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much. Off to bed. Okay, good night. So sorry, I'm supposed to end. But yeah, I'm gonna also end. Carmen says, made it just in time before the live stream ended. Oh, well, you can rewatch it. It's here. So anyway, that was a 10-minute spiel just to like finish it. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. Same time, same day next week. Every time we're gonna do 10 minutes better, okay? 10 minutes better. So today we're ending at 1:50, 1 hour and 50. So, but yeah, hopefully you guys take care. Hopefully, this made you, not necessarily you, but like everyone, just be more self-aware and be more open, be more tolerant, and just be, maybe put yourself in other people's shoes, and that way you may not be as bitter, and you may not be as like angry all the time. I know it's so easy to be angry and be like judgmental all the time, because we all do it. Like, seriously, I'm not a saint. I do it too. But I try my best to not be that way, because we have to lead by examples. And our kids, they watch us. Our nieces, nephews, they all watch us. Whatever we do, they will do too. So we need to do better for them. Okay, anyway, you guys go to bed or enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to talk to you again next week. And tomorrow I'll see you, Kat, at your live stream tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time, but 9 a.m. her time. Okay, take care, guys. Bye. Love you.